May it please the court, opposing counsel, ladies of the jury. This case is about rage, revenue, and revenge, and how these three forces led Logan Haynes to murder his business partner, Zoe Torrance. Logan Haynes is being charged with malice murder, felony murder, and false imprisonment. Under Georgia law, the state bears the burden. Through witness testimony, physical evidence, and the defendant's own words, we have met that burden. For malice murder, we must prove that Logan Haynes unlawfully and with malice aforethought caused the death of Zoe Torrance. On September 19th, Logan Haynes learned that Zoe Torrance stole upwards of $250,000 from the Georgian bistro. From that moment, his response was anger that only escalated. Witness testimony showed exactly how that anger surfaced. Joe Walker stated that on September 19th, Logan Haynes made threats to kill Zoe Torrance. And then again, on September 27th, the night of Zoe Torrance's death, Sasha Portnoy saw Logan Haynes threaten to kill Zoe, this time with a kitchen knife. Two witnesses, same defendant, same threat. Logan Haynes himself stated that the Georgian bistro was his everything, and when he was losing that, his response was rage. For felony murder, we must prove that on or about September 27th, in a commission of a felony, false imprisonment, Logan Haynes caused the death of Zoe Torrance by hypothermia. You saw Exhibit 11, the autopsy report. Zoe Torrance's death was not an accident. The cooler was padlocked from the outside, and Zoe Torrance's knuckles were bruised, fighting to try and escape, fighting for her life. Zoe Torrance died by hypothermia, and that is important because hypothermia does not happen instantly. It happens when someone is confined in the cold with no escape. Sasha Portnoy saw Logan Haynes threaten Zoe's life on the night of her death, and that same night that Logan Haynes used to threaten Zoe had his fingerprints after it was meant to be washed for the night. For false imprisonment, we must prove that Logan Haynes unlawfully confined Zoe to a cooler at the Georgian bistro. Exhibit 7 shows Zoe Torrance's final act in the world. Killer pieces in the word in bacon in the last letter in L. Zoe Torrance died trying to tell you who did this. And then there's the money. $500,000 from a buy-sell agreement that Logan Haynes was set to receive. Logan Haynes himself told you that he fully intends on walking away from today's case with $500,000. The defense has tried to argue that if Logan Haynes were found guilty of murder and he would not receive the money, this somehow proves his innocence. But this clause tells you exactly why Logan Haynes has worked so hard to shift the blame. Because if he walks away free, he walks away rich. The defense's own witnesses strengthened the state's case. C.J. Morgan took the stand, raised the right hand, and swore to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And then she told you that she's manipulated cases prior, that she barely knew Sasha when allegedly confessed the whole murder, and that she is a persona non grata by the state. She even told you that she wants you to find the right man to convict, the right man, Logan Haynes. And then Parker Young, the defense's Broadva expert, took the stand and extrapolated when it was stated nowhere in their testimony that Sasha Portnoy could have acted in her own volition. But Parker Young actually told you that this murder happened within the organization, and that Sasha Portnoy was simply a money collector, so she could not order or follow through with a hit. Ladies and gentlemen, a reasonable doubt is based on common sense. And common sense tells you rage from a partner betrayed, revenue from a $500,000 payout, and revenge performed behind a cooler door. We ask you to seek justice for Zoe Torrance, who cannot do so for herself. So a murderer is not rewarded for taking his business partner's life. For malice murder, for felony murder, for false imprisonment, we ask you to find the defendant, Logan Haynes guilty on all counts. Thank you.